Hello everyone, and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Find a quiet place, grab your favorite drink, and settle in. Because today's video is more than a headline or a rumor. It's a living, breathing story about two artists whose private hopes became public fuel for a nation's fascination. Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel. If you enjoy deep dive storytelling rather than surface level gossip, remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Your support lets me keep digging for the hidden human side of celebrity life. And if you'd like early access and members-only content, you can click join below. Now, let's travel through time, screen, and emotion. 1. A meeting written between the lines. Every great story begins with a moment, so ordinary you almost miss it. For Barış and Yağmur, that moment was the first table read for Can Kikaleri. The cast gathered in a brightly lit rehearsal room overlooking the Bosphorus. Writers shuffled pages, producers whispered schedules, and the director cracked a joke to break the tension. Then came Scene 14, an emotionally charged confrontation between Dilan and Baran. As soon as Yağmur read her first line delivered with a soft intensity that made the room go silent, Barış's focus sharpened. He responded, not as an actor politely running lines, but as a person genuinely startled by how real the words suddenly felt. A script assistant later said, "You could feel the air change." We weren't watching two actors. We were watching an unspoken agreement being forged. That agreement, trust. Long shoot days and night shoots followed. Rain machines soaked them at 2 a.m., wind machines whirred, and the stars faked tears that sometimes became real. Crew members remember how Barış always waited until Yağmur climbed into her van before he left the set, and how she brought him hot tea when the night air dropped below 10 degrees. These were small gestures, but on a film set, small becomes significant. 2. The quiet collapse of a marriage. Away from the cameras, Barış's personal life was unraveling. Marriage, once a sanctuary, had turned into a carefully choreographed truce. Differences in priorities, months apart, and the silent pressure of fame left cracks that polite dinners and anniversary posts could no longer plaster over. Close friends say the final straw was a conversation at 3 a.m. after yet another late shoot. Barış's then-wife reportedly said, "I don't know this life you're living anymore. And maybe you don't either." It wasn't an accusation, it was exhaustion. 2 weeks later, they quietly filed the paperwork. No angry interviews, no cryptic subtweets, just signatures, notarized, stamped, final. Barış emerged from the courthouse with a single sentence to waiting reporters: "Spect must survive every ending." He offered no details, but his eyes ringed with fatigue told the rest. Some endings feel like mercy. 3. Love paused, then unmuted. Here's what most people don't know. Yağmur did not leap into a romance the moment papers were signed. In fact, she stepped back. She postponed brand deals, declined red carpet invites, and even turned down a magazine cover because she felt the timing was wrong. Friends urged her to seize the spotlight. She refused. "He needs to stand on his own feet first," she reportedly told a confidant. Months passed. Rumors dimmed. Both actors buried themselves in work, yet something persisted. A late-night text asking, "Did you get home safe?" A voice note with a joke only the two of them would understand. A shy thumbs-up reaction to an old behind-the-scenes photo. Nothing scandalous, just the digital echo of affection waiting its turn. Then winter arrived, and with it a pause in filming. They found themselves with a rare weekend off. No deadlines, no call sheets. It was then, away from sets and scripts, that they met at a nondescript. No paparazzi, no handlers, just two people who had run out of excuses to stay silent. Witnesses described them sitting by a fogged window, hands wrapped around steaming cups, talking for hours. When they left, they exited by separate doors. But a security camera caught Barış slipping a small notebook into Yağmur's tote bag as they hugged goodbye. Inside the notebook. Much later, the contents of that notebook leaked not in a tabloid scoop, but in pieces, revealed by friends who felt the world misunderstood their timeline. On page 1, dated 6 months before the divorce filing, Barry's had written, "One day, when my life is honest again, I hope you'll read this and still want to know the man behind the roles." On page 2, he drafted lyrics for a song he never released. "Every set goes dark when the director calls cut. But your laughter keeps rolling when the sound man packs up." The notebook was both confession and compass, guiding them to that eventual rooftop proposal we'll discuss in a moment. 4. Proposal without paparazzi. So, how do you propose to someone when the world is waiting to turn your love into trending hashtags? You choose intimacy over spectacle. That's exactly what Barış did. No red balloons spelling "Marry Me," no imported roses, no drone footage. Just a rooftop, soft candlelight, the Bosphorus shimmering below, and 2 seats facing east so Dawn could witness what night began. He arrived early, carrying Turkey's family book, a bold but profoundly cultural symbol. At precisely 4:37 a.m., just as the first call to prayer drifted over the water, Yağmur stepped onto the terrace. Bundled in a wool coat, cheeks pink from the February chill, Barry's dropped to one knee, not trembling anchored. His speech was brief. "I loved you in silence so my words could arrive with peace, not apology. Let's write the rest in our own handwriting." He offered a vintage ring, modest in size but etched with her MRA. Yağmur answered, voice steadier than she expected. "I accept, but promise me we keep some things for ourselves." He nodded. No tears, just relief, like 2 travelers discovering they'd been walking the same path by different maps. 5. Instagram. 3 photos, 1 earthquake. Later that day, she posted 3 images. A blurred horizon where sea meets sky. Metaphor for new beginnings. The ring on her open palm. Proof, but not boast. Her hands atop the family book. Documentation of intention. Caption: "When the heart chooses quiet, quiet becomes the loudest music." The internet trembled. Within 24 hours, 1.2 million likes, 300K comments. Hashtags, #Hermer, #QuietLove. Number B and Y trending across Turkey. Friends in the industry flooded DMs with blessings. But under every congratulations lurked debate. Too soon, too secret, too scripted. 6. The ex-wife's ripple. As applause echoed, a single ripple of shade cut through. Barış's ex-wife posted a story. "Some directors never yell cut because they're still acting." No name, no tag, yet everyone understood. The press dissected her words, debating whether she implied Barış's romance was PR or if she was grieving aloud. Comment threads turned into war zones. Empathy versus cynicism. Romance versus realism. Through it all, Barış and Yağmur said nothing. They went offline, traveling to Cappadocia for a 3-day retreat. They're under a sky quilted with hot air balloons. They left their phones in the hotel's safe, rode horses along red sand trails, and watched the sun bleed golden over fairy chimneys. One local guide later recalled they looked weightless, like school kids on a field trip. 7. The shadow photo piece didn't last. A month later, the mysterious Instagram account at la.verdad.oculta posted a grainy shot. Barry's in a car with a short-haired blonde woman. No faces visible, yet speculation detonated. Headlines screamed, "Is Barry's already moving on?" For 48 hours, the internet swirled with doubt. Then, clarity. The woman was revealed as Ezgi Kira, a stunt coordinator on his new historical series. She had just shaved her head for a charity drive supporting pediatric cancer patients. The ride captured was a late-night run to drop safety equipment at storage after a rain-soaked set day. Ezgi herself posted a statement. "I was literally wearing a harness and mud-stained boots. We were talking about broken rigging, not breaking hearts." The rumor died, but the lesson lingered. In fame's glare, even shadows leave marks. 8. Fans' film offers and future maps. Since the rooftop proposal, studios have pitched no fewer than 4 scripts to the couple. An epic period romance set in early Ottoman times. A modern courtroom drama with star-crossed lawyers. A Netflix limited series about rival art thieves. A biopic of legendary singers who fell for each other on tour. Thus far, they've said yes to none. Their reason? We're still editing our own story. They insist on choosing a project that respects both their relationship and individual artistic growth. Insiders hint they may produce an indie feature together, funding it partly themselves to retain creative control. Meanwhile, social responsibility pulls them outward. They recently donated the wedding gift funds to build a digital library for a village school in eastern Anatolia. No ribbon-cutting ceremony, no glossy magazine spreads, just a quietly wired bank transfer and a note to the headmaster. Teach them to tell their own stories. 9. The 10-minute voicemail. One anecdote surfaces from time to time. The voicemail. Shortly after their Cappadocia retreat, Barış flew to Spain for a festival. At 2 a.m., unable to sleep, he recorded a 10-minute message to Yağmur. No grand declarations, just mundane moments. The taste of saffron rice, a guitarist in the street, how the hotel soap smelled like wildflowers. He ended with, "I realized today that life is more vivid because I expect to tell you about it later." Yağmur saved that voicemail. Sometimes, when late-night doubts creep in, she replays it. Not for reassurance of his love, but to remind herself why she chose a life in motion. Shared with a partner who sees poetry in a bar of soap. 10. Where we stand. Now, Barış is deep into filming Gala Weller. Altenda, doing Dawn's sword fight rehearsals, learning ancient dialects and meeting historians to portray a rebel prince authentically. Yağmur is finishing Ritman Kalbi, a dance drama series requiring 8-hour rehearsals that leave her bruised but exhilarated. They text good morning photos of call sheets and say goodnight on video calls across time zones. They've instituted Sunday letters, actual pen-and-ink notes, each mails the other weekly, no matter where they are. Wedding date still unannounced. Public joint statement still unnecessary. Their mantra remains, let the work speak, let the love breathe. 11 lessons from a quiet love. Patience is a gesture of respect. They waited until paperwork, grief, and public perception settled before giving their feelings oxygen. Silence can be louder than any hashtag. In an age of oversharing, they chose selective privacy, letting rumors burn out rather than fanning flames. Love is work, not wish. They invest in handwritten notes, cross-continental video calls, and boundary setting around publicity. Mistakes are inevitable. The shadow photo proved even the best intentions can stumble into controversy. Grace is found in calm clarifications, not clapbacks. Stories keep evolving. Today's fairy tale could be tomorrow's footnote. They accept impermanence, writing each chapter as honestly as they can. 12 final thoughts. Maybe their romance will culminate in a public wedding, or maybe it will unfold forever in private postcards and Sunday letters we never see. Whatever the outcome, Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel have shown that two people can navigate fame's roaring tide with a compass set to quiet sincerity. In doing so, they've given fans a rare glimpse of love chosen deliberately, sustained by mutual respect, and lived between the lines rather than on them. Thank you for staying with me through this long, winding journey. If their story moved you or changed how you view celebrity relationships, share your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another deep dive into the human side of fame. Until next time, take care of yourselves, honor your own quiet truths, and remember, the most powerful confessions aren't shouted from rooftops, they're whispered between two hearts that finally dare to listen.